doing another one of these HACKTICS Q&A. We're going live. So currently we are on the YouTube. Currently we are on Facebook, and we are on LinkedIn. So hello and all to those of you who are watching. So today what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about YouTube ads. Hello there, first viewer. I appreciate it. So we're going to be talking about YouTube ads today. And what I want to talk about are the three secrets that you should be using when you are using YouTube ads. Now, there's a lot of options when you're talking about YouTube. So I want to get that out right away. So in this case, let me just give you a little bit of context. So YouTube ads are really, they're really solid ads kind of across whatever vertical that you're in. So if you are in the e-commerce space, if you are in the lead gen space, where you're like me, where you go out and you help businesses get leads, clients, and customers. If you're in SaaS, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you are a service-based business, YouTube ads are probably going to be one of the best spots where you can spend your money. And what I'm going to walk you through are three of my favorite targeting options for YouTube ads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a little time to each one of these. So we're going to be talking about remarketing, and we're going to be talking about keyword targeting and placement. And I think we're going to go in that order. So if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them below. I'll leave some time just for some, some Q&A, some back and forth at the end. But let me just kind of start this off. So I originally got started running ads online with Google ads, search ads, and then Facebook ads. And then that Facebook kind of gravitated toward Instagram. And one of the things that I've always really wanted to learn how to do was YouTube, except I just didn't really have that much of an opportunity, because in YouTube, it's a little bit different. You actually have to have a decent video. You have to have good content. And we're not going to really get into too much of what content should you be using on YouTube, nor are we going to be talking about why that's a little bit different. However, what I want to do is talk about the settings. So the settings on YouTube. So the first one is this. We're going to be talking about remarketing. Now, you've heard me talk about retargeting and remarketing. They're the same thing. So when we're talking specifically about YouTube, let me see this. Remarketing, basically, this is putting ads in front of the people who've already encountered your brand. So either they saw an ad from you on YouTube, they saw something organic from you on YouTube, they came to your website. And the reason why you want to be using YouTube is kind of for this omnipresent remarketing and retargeting. So you've heard me say and preach, you want to, be... if somebody comes to your website, you want to put your ads back in front of them on Facebook and on Instagram. That's not too difficult to do. Where I feel a lot of people have trouble is when it comes to YouTube. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And specifically, we're going to talk about the placements, the campaign settings. So when you go set up a YouTube campaign, you're not going to be able to, it's not going to say, hey, here's how to optimize your campaign. Here's the best bang for your buck. If you've run ads online long enough, you just know that doesn't happen, especially if you're starting off, in YouTube ads or in Google ads. I'm not going to say the stage is set against you, but they're not going to do you any favors in helping you set this up. So one of the things that I've learned over the past few years is this awesome setting called the CPV setting. Now, that's not going to come out of the box. When you go and set up your campaign in YouTube, you're going to do something I think is called product consideration or something like that. But you really want to maximize the CPV setting. And what that is essentially this. You see ads on YouTube all the time. They're the in-stream ads where they're gonna play an ad right before this video is viewed. And if somebody watches those, first 5 seconds, you're going to get charged. However, there's a great way to get past all of that. With the CPV setting, you will not get charged until somebody watches a full 30 seconds of your video. And that is absolute gold. So I want you to consider this, okay? Somebody has been to your website and you want to put an ad back out in front of somebody on YouTube. This is gold. Like, if you consider the fact that you're not going to get charged for 30 seconds until somebody watches that full 30 seconds, then that is incredible for you and your retargeting and your remarketing. So imagine this. I come to your website. I don't fill out your contact us form. I don't schedule a quote. I don't schedule a phone call. I don't request a quote. I don't start my free trial. You should put ads back in front of me on YouTube. And the great thing about this is this, When you're on YouTube, or when anybody, when I, you, anybody, we are in this posture to consume content. It's a little bit different than Facebook, right? On Facebook, on Instagram, wherever, you're swiping, you're going up, you're doing, you're sitting there kind of mindless, right? But on YouTube, it's a little bit different. You are in this posture to consume content. So if you can remarket and retarget people who are ready to consume content, that's awesome. And if you use a CPV setting, you're not going to get charged until somebody watches a full 30 seconds. Okay, well, let's say that somebody does watch this full 30 seconds. How much should you expect to, be charged? If you're using the CPV setting, you can probably get away with, being charged somewhere between 3 to 5 cents per view. Now, that's incredible if you consider what I just said, everything before this. Meaning somebody has been to your website, they're interested in your brand, you put a video ad back in front of them, they're ready to consume content at this point, and you're not going to get charged until somebody watches a full 30 seconds of your ad. That's gold. That's like the best money online. That's probably your best money being spent online, is because they're consuming all of this messaging from you. And if they don't even watch 30 seconds, you're not going to get charged, meaning you can put out your brand time and time again in front of these individuals. And if they just click skip, that's fine. Maybe they're not ready for you yet. But if they keep watching, that's great. And if they watch past 30 seconds, you can just continue to give them value and value and value after that. So remarketing and retargeting is really a underused, I would say YouTube is a giant underused platform when it comes to remarketing and retargeting. Now, here's the problem. Here's the catch, right? You have to have good content. You have to have good video content to put out in front of somebody. But it's not that hard. Honestly, it's not that hard. All you need to do is you need to have your phone. Okay? And if you have your phone, you have your device, you can just look at it, right? And there's this awesome little who, what, why, how method that I teach. And this is not my method. This is other people's method. So, but here's kind of what I'm getting at. If somebody comes to your website and you want to put a remarketing ad back in front of them, all that you need to do is you need to grab your phone and you need to make a little message for them. It's the who, what, why, how method. And all you say is who are you? So you look into your phone. And by the way, if you don't need to have some fancy, high dollar video to put on YouTube. If you look at YouTube, you will see that a lot of people are just looking into their phones and talking to you. Why is that? It's because people resonate with that kind of content. People resonate with it. It's more authentic than some well-polished video. Now, I'm not saying that you should use one or the other. I'm telling you should use both and split test and look at the data and find the results and push into that. However, if you have your phone in front of you, all that you need to do is you need to look into it. And you say the who, the what, the why, and the how. So the who is this. The who is who are you? So my name is Jason Wilmot. Okay. What do you have for the viewer on YouTube? Well, I have a program called Funnel Accelerator. Okay. Why do they need it? Well, why in my case is most businesses struggle with online marketing. If you can automate your sales funnel, you can grow with proof and predictability. That's the why. And then you get in the how. How do you get? And this is the most important part on YouTube. When you're on YouTube, you have to give people an audible call to action. Okay, they're watching, they're consuming this content, and they're ready to take action if you prompt them. So you have to give this how. You have to give the how do you get it. So in my case, I would say, who am I? What do I have? Why does the viewer need it? And then how do they get it? So click through, start your 7-day free trial, and then schedule a funnel strategy session to help me ensure that you know how to build out your retargeting funnel. So you're telling them what to do. So you're saying who, what, why, how. The who, what, the why, and the how. So that is a great script to just use when it comes to YouTube remarketing. Again, let me reemphasize this. People on YouTube are in a different posture to consume content than they are when they're on Facebook or Instagram. On Facebook and Instagram, your marketing is trying to stop the scroll. These people, when they come onto YouTube, they're already ready to consume content. And in fact, if you put a good ad in front of people, people will watch. Why? It's because they're prepared to consume content. So I don't want to beat that dead horse, but what I'm telling you is you don't have to have some super polished video to go on YouTube. You can just look in your phone, tell them that thing, tell them your message, put out your offer, tell them to click through and to take action. Okay. Now I'm getting a little off topic because what I want to talk about is retargeting and remarketing. So again, remarketing on YouTube is going to be probably some of your best money spent. Why? It's because if you use a CPV setting, You're not going to get charged until somebody watches the full 30 seconds, which is just great for you. You're not stopping the scroll. You're doing nothing. You're just putting your ad in front of the video that they already want to watch. So if you have questions on remarketing, there's way more that I can get into beyond this, but I kind of want to get on to the next subject. So Matthew, hello there, sir. Yes, we should reconnect sometime. Thank you for dropping by the live Q&A. If you have any questions about YouTube advertising, by the way, now is the time to ask. So anyways, okay. So the next thing that we're going to be talking about is placement. Actually, let's use placement last. Let's use keyword targeting because I feel like this is another gold mine. So we have to remember, let me just kind of frame this up for you. So when people go onto YouTube, they're normally doing two things. They're either one, wanting to be entertained, or two, they're wanting to educate themselves. For me, I'm going to go and I'm going to listen to, a podcast or something while I'm cleaning up after my kids go to bed and I'm cleaning up the kitchen or getting ready for the next day. I'm just going to put something on and listen to it. So that's kind of the entertainment. However, let's say that I've got this question and I'm looking to how do I install this pixel or how do I set up this cookie? And I go to YouTube and I type in a specific query, right? That's technobabble for the words that you type into YouTube. Okay, that string or that query indicates your intent. And if you can match someone's intent with your offer, then that's really, really powerful. So if somebody goes to if somebody goes to YouTube right now and they type in how to set up my Facebook retargeting, right? That is a great indicator that they are perfect for my offer, right? They're looking to solve their problem. They either want to do it themselves or they're looking for a coach, which is perfect. So I want to put my ad in front of those people who are typing in, how do I set up Facebook ads, or how do I set up Facebook retargeting? You see, the great part about YouTube advertising is you can know the intent of the individual. And if you can know the intent of the individual and then you can place an ad in front of them and you don't get charged again for 30 seconds, that is a rinse and repeat solution for your offer. Okay? So let me kind of give you a different situation. Let's say that somebody is looking to solve their problem. Oftentimes they go to Google search. So they'll go to Google search, they'll type in their query and they'll try to click around and find the results. Well, if they do the same thing on YouTube, right? You might not win with the initial click, and that's okay. You don't have to win the initial click. And I want to reiterate that, okay? If somebody goes to YouTube, they type in the specific query, your ad might not show up next. But it is banked that person typed in that query, and the next time that bid comes around to put an ad in front of them, YouTube might say, oh, well, Jason Wilmot put in a bid on this query to put this video in front of this individual. So that is incredible. Okay. If somebody goes and they say, I need a marketing coach, I need a something app, I need a whatever solution, that is your indicator to put your ad in front of these people. Now, there's a couple little nuance pieces that you're going to want to get into, and that is the keyword match type. If you just kind of go with this broad match type, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this because this is getting a little bit technical. You should just go to YouTube and look up what I'm saying. What you're going to find is that YouTube will advertise probably on searches that are beyond kind of what you're targeting. And you can use these things called match types to really bring it in, meaning somebody has to type these exact words, or they have to type in the word Facebook, they have to type in ads, and they have to type in retargeting. I don't care what combination they use, but as long as they use those three words, I'm going to put an ad in front of them. So it's a really, really cool use case to be able to discover the intent of an individual and put that ad in front of the people who've displayed intent. And if you're just joining me halfway through, I talked about the campaign settings that you should be using for remarketing. The same thing should apply here. So you should give yourself 30 seconds at least to put your, so you're not charged until this full 30 seconds is watched. So you're not going to be billed. So you can put this, ad in front of these people. They typed in this query. If they see your message and it doesn't resonate with them, that's okay. You do not get charged. So I could probably speak for a long time on keyword targeting. In fact, I think it's probably, at least it's one of the top of funnel campaigns that I've had the most success with. Again, it's because it's all about intent. When somebody goes in to type a problem on YouTube, they're searching for something, they're searching with intent to solve that problem. If they can solve it, great. If they can't, they're going to keep looking. Well, again, so if you follow this intent, I'll go all the way back to, remarketing. The remarketing, the people on your website have displayed a ton of intent. So that's why you want to be remarketing those folks. So on the top of the funnel, you want to be putting your ads in front of these people with keyword targeting. Now let's go ahead and talk about this last type. If you're just joining me now, we've talked about remarketing strategies and we've talked about keyword placements. And now we're going to talk about another one of my favorites. I guess they're kind of all my favorite. Well, they're my favorite if it works, right? And why I'm giving you these 3 different options is because you should definitely use all 3 of these. And if one of them works, then push into it, right? I'm a big fan of the phrase, every experiment has an expiration date. You should definitely use all of these tips that I'm using today. And if one of them is successful, great. Then push into it. So what is this placement targeting? So we've talked about remarketing. That's putting ads in front of the individuals who've already been to your website. And then we've talked about keyword targeting. So if somebody types in a specific keyword on YouTube, you're going to put your ad in front of those people. You can use several different methods of scripts. You can use the who, what, why, how method. But this last method is pretty cool. This is called a placement targeting. So in placement targeting, what you're able to do is you're able to put your ad, you can literally choose which channel or which video you want to put your ad on. Now, the catch is this YouTube ad, the catch is the YouTube channel or the YouTube video has to be a monetized video. Like it has to be somebody who has monetized their channel or allowed ads to be put in front of them, right? If they are if they're a brand and they haven't monetized their channel, then you can't do this. But there's plenty of people who have monetized their channel, right? So if somebody is going in and they're typing in a query, right, you could find them there because we just talked about that. However, if one idea that I would use is I would use that exact query that you think people are typing in when they're going to come look for you or your services or your brand, and then go to the search results in YouTube and see which videos actually display first. And what you should do is you should see which of those videos are monetized. And if they're monetized, you can say, hey, I want to put my ad on anybody who watches this video. Then you put in which you're going to put in your bid amount, obviously, but then you're also going to use the CPV setting, meaning you're not going to get charged until somebody watches a full 30 seconds of this video. Again, the CPV setting is your best friend in this game. It is limiting in some capacity where you're not able to create targeted sequences and all of that other stuff, but that's okay. I think if you're just getting started in YouTube, the CPV setting is probably your most friendly way to go, and that's why I would definitely lead with that. I would definitely lead with in-stream videos, meaning your video is going to play before the video, or it's going to be played during a video. That's called in-stream. And then you're going to want to use the CPV setting because you're not going to be charged until somebody watches at least 30 seconds of your video. I'm telling you, it is some of your best money spent online, hands down. So this placement targeting, let's kind of finish this up. So we started with retargeting or remarketing. So we're putting video ads in front of people who've been to our website, which is great intent. Okay, that intent is better than anything else. If somebody's literally on your website, if they're looking at the contact us page, if they're starting to fill it out, but for some reason they left, you need to put your ad in front of them because obviously they're way more interested than somebody who's never heard of you. Then if somebody is typing in a query on YouTube, like they're typing in, how do I set up Facebook ads? How do I set up YouTube ads? That's a good indicator that if somebody's typing in that specific search term, you want to put your ad in front of those people. But let's say that you can't win that. Then what I would do is I would go to YouTube. I would type in my exact thing that I think people are typing in, or the query that they're typing in. And I would look for the videos that have been monetized. And I would put my ads then on those monetized videos. And over time, what you're going to see is this. You're going to see what is best. You're going to see, hey, my keyword targeting is better than my placement, or vice versa. Now, your remarketing is probably going to be in a completely different bucket. And it should be in a completely different bucket. And you should probably exclude the people who are typing in your query, or you're wanting to make sure that you're excluding the people from your top of funnel campaigns that have actually been to your website, because that's where you want to target your remarketing. Now, there's probably examples where that's not the case, but there's, I'm assuming this is kind of just going to be best practice, and that's kind of the way that I'm framing this up for you. So, again, that's how I would spend my time and money setting these things up. Again, the hardest part about YouTube, in my opinion, is creating a good video or a good compelling script, and I do teach how to do that. And in fact, what I should do is just kind of end here with a little bit of promo. So that's what I will do. Let's do this. On autopilot. And so that's kind of why I'm interested in doing these lives, is to obviously promote this, because I feel like I can help you. I can help coach your team, or you can do this yourself. So what I have is actually a 7-day free trial if you're interested in learning more about this. And I'm looking for, there we go. There is the final one. If you're interested in learning how to do YouTube ads, I'll teach you. You can take a stab at this for 7 days absolutely for free. So in my YouTube ads module, it's actually module 5, because there's several series and stages that we build before we enlist YouTube ads. First, you have to establish your proof. Then you have to establish your tracking. Then you need to set up your marketing and retargeting on Facebook and Instagram. And I go into several reasons why you should do that. Then you should do Google display ads. And then you should stack on your YouTube remarketing. And then once that's all built, then that's when you start using your keyword targeting in your placement targeting. Because here's a problem. You don't just want to go off and get people into, or direct people to your website, if you don't have retargeting, remarketing, all of these other segments set up, right? You don't want to do that, because you want to send people into a fully optimized funnel. And so that is what I cover. And I'm a pretty proud. So I feel like I know what I'm doing. Okay. And what I want to do is just help the people who are getting into this, make sure that they're really optimizing their campaigns to the fullest. So, all right. So I am going to wrap this up in about 1 minute. If I see there's still a couple of people live, if you've got a question, go ahead and drop it in the chat and I will address it. Again, we are talking about YouTube ads today. And if you have a question, if you're watching this after this has gone live, go ahead and type in a question down below. And what I will do is I will use your questions for next time in the next live. I like to do this a couple times a week, but I don't see any other questions coming in. So let's just end this here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do enjoy doing this. If you are interested in automating your sales funnel so that you can grow with predictability and proof, what you need to do is you need to go to HACKTICS.com. You can sign up for my funnel accelerator. The world of testimonials. So my success, or your success, is my success. So, all right, I am going to end there. Okay. Thank you for the feedback, Matthew. Thank you for that. That's very important. So something is glitchy with the Restream. I'm using Restream currently to broadcast this, and some audio is cutting out when I show the graphics. Maybe it's just you. I don't know. I'll have to test. Thank you. That's super helpful, actually. All right. Matthew, I appreciate it. I appreciate you chiming in. I appreciate everybody else who has come to view today. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and I will address them on the next live. All right, guys, take care of one another. I will